Yo, Seth Gardner. I was looking through my comments and somebody asked if I saw the new Mario movie. I guess it's because one of my older videos I talked about the old Mario movie, the Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. And yeah, I saw the new Super Mario Brothers movie and I have some thoughts on it. Yeah, the video where I talked about the 90s Mario Brothers movie, I talked about like some of the like esoteric stuff. And I went into this wondering if like, is this gonna have stuff like that too? Because like how I made a video about how like Nintendo's putting Flat Earth stuff in their games, like the new Pokemon and Breath of the Wild. So I was wondering, is there gonna be esoteric stuff in this too? Like some of the new games and, or like the old Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. And yeah, I did notice some things actually. Like, there's this one character, this like talking star. I think it's called like Illuma or something. It's from Mario Galaxy, if I'm remembering correctly. And it says some like really creepy things. It's only in it for a little bit of the movie, but it says some creepy things. And one of the creepy things it says is like during the credits, like after the credits are going and everything. And I was thinking, well, this is kind of like out of place. Like it says things like about how, like after the credits, it says something like all that's left is like the empty void, or like or emptiness or eternity, or anyway. And then it also says stuff like the only thing left is like what, death, when they were trying to escape the prison. And I was thinking, well, why are they putting this stuff in a Mario movie? Like for kids, like it's like really creepy. And I get that's what makes it funny and stuff, but I was thinking about it more, and like all the other esoteric stuff in Nintendo games and the movies, or at least the old Mario movie in the 90s. And it made me think, oh wait, I think I might know what they're talking about, like why they're doing this. So in both Buddhism and Christianity, there's something called, so like in Buddhism, the term's called the pit of the void, and in Christianity, there's this term, the dark night of the soul. And in Christianity, it's like the feeling that God has abandoned you, and you feel this sense of despair. In Buddhism, it's said to be that it's like you're peering into like the same emptiness, like you perceive the emptiness, like everything is fake and everything, but it brings you despair, like you're not perceiving it right. So like you're looking at like nirvana like the wrong way, or that, no, it's not nirvana, but you're looking at the emptiness the wrong way, not getting to nirvana. So it has like this opposite like kind of effect almost. And I think so. There are these two terms, and I've heard people say like, oh, maybe they're the same thing. How in Christianity they say the dark night of the soul, and then Buddhism they say the pit of the void, or the dark pit of the void. Anyway, yeah, I think it's likely that these are the same. It's the same phenomenon being described here, and it sounds an awful lot like what the talking star in the new Mario movie was like talking about. And usually when these type of things are in like media, like movies, video games, anything, it's never really a coincidence. It's usually a reason, like people in Hollywood or even the gaming industry, because that's a huge industry. It's as big as Hollywood and stuff or whatever now. So like you get a lot of people that'll know a lot of these secrets, or they'll get into like religion and various whatever esoteric kind of or like different traditions, and they'll kind of figure out these esoteric secrets, or parts of them at least. And to me that sounds like what they're talking about. But don't worry, none of that stuff's not like, there's no reason to despair. It's like when people they reach that conclusion, it's because they're not like perceiving things right, when they get that sense of despair. I think that also what the talking star is talking about, I think it's also like, so like in the like psychiatry world and stuff, or like the therapist, they have this term, the doctors, even though doctors, not all doctors, but they sometimes just make things up, like when they say cigarettes are bad, like how, I smoke cigarettes all the time, and, I'm doing great, like, so not that all doctors are in on it, but like, some of them just kind of make things up, a lot of them, unfortunately. And I'm not saying all doctors, but it's just the reality. And they have this term, though, that I think they're describing too. How in Buddhism they say the pit of the void, and in Christianity they say the dark night of the soul. There's this term like doctors will use called derealization or depersonalization. That's like a disorder of like everything seems like this is like unreality. Well, that's because it's true. This isn't reality. This is fake. Like the world around you, other people, they're like in the Matrix. Like when Neo's in the Matrix, he's looking at the other people. They're not really people. The real life is like that. So like, this is kind of, maybe this is a bit controversial, but it's like when people say like schizophrenics, when people talk bad about them or whatever, they say, oh, they're crazy or whatever. Much of the time they're right. Like if they're talking to somebody that's not really there, or if they say like, oh, this isn't real, well, maybe they really are talking to somebody. Like it's like they're like ghosts and like other dimensions and stuff, like, or parallel worlds, however you want to phrase that. So yeah, schizophrenics are basically right. And I'm not joking, I'm not trying to make fun of mental illness. I disagree about, in this context, like how do you know, like, because like look at all sorts of religious prophets or whatever, or like monks, like there's this term like divine madness, or like the mad monk, where there's like a monk that meditates and he gets a glimpse of nirvana, like he's like on his way to enlightenment, and he's like laughing, and he might say things that seem crazy, and other people think, whoa, that's a mad monk, he's crazy. Well, he's not really crazy, he's right. Like whatever he's saying, it's just true. Those are just like the facts. And to normal people, it seems crazy. So the schizophrenia is kind of like that. And but people might perceive it the wrong way, and they get to like what the medical world will call derealization, depersonalization, what Christians will call the dark night of the soul, what Buddhists will call, I'm a Buddhist, will call it the pit of the void. And yeah, it's hard to say why that happens. Well, part of why that happens is because like they're not perceiving things right. Like they meditate and they're like getting close to whatever enlightenment, but like they don't perceive things right. It's like a glitch or something like that. It's really tough to say, honestly. These are just F. Gardner's thoughts. F. Gardner's not entirely sure why that happens, but that's part of why it happens. It's about like your perception, not perceiving it right. So I think that's what the talking star in the new Mario was kind of talking about. But he's just not like perceiving it right. And whoever wrote the Mario movie, or at least whoever wrote the talking star in that movie, maybe that's something they like experienced or they had some knowledge about. That seems more than likely, that because that's basically what they're describing. So that tells me that yeah, this is like an esoteric thing, definitely in that movie. And but I think part of why that might happen, by the way, why people they get to this sense of despair like that from perceiving emptiness, unreality. There's this term called Makyo. So Ma refers to Mara, the devil, in Buddhism, and Kyo is like realm. So like Mara's realm, the devil's realm. The devil's in Buddhism, not a lot of people know that. Anyway, so it's like this realm you could enter if you meditate, but it's like you don't let them have power over you. So these are kind of just my thoughts now. Maybe that's how it can lead to people getting to this derealized or depersonalized, whatever state of despair. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But yeah, this is like profoundly esoteric and like deep stuff, and I was surprised to see that in the new Mario movie. And I did see some of the stuff from like the 90s Mario movie with Dennis Hopper and Bob Hoskins, and anyway, John Leguizamo. Yeah, that's a great movie if you've never seen the original, by the way. So that one, the original from the 90s, they had some like parallel dimension stuff and reptilians and 9/11. It predicted 9/11, and Dennis Hopper. So King Koopa. King Koopa is the old word for Bowser. They used to call Bowser King Koopa in like the old Mario games, and I think he's still called that in Japan. I wonder why they changed that. Yeah, why did they change King Koopa? Koopa's like a pun on Kappa from Japanese mythology. But I wonder why they changed in the United States or in English-speaking countries like King Koopa to Bowser, because King Koopa, that's already like a villain name. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like how they changed Robotnik, Dr. Robotnik to Eggman. Well, they still sometimes call him Dr. Robotnik in Sonic. Anyway, yeah, so Dennis Hopper, King Koopa, Bowser, whatever, in the original movie, he looks a lot like Trump, which is really weird, and I don't know what to make of that. But it's like it predicted the future somehow. But in that regard, and 9/11, that's the biggest strange thing, like the Twin Towers in that movie and stuff are like destroyed. This came out, almost a decade before 9/11. The original Mario movie. So yeah, there's so many different things in the original Mario movie. The reptilians, 9/11, parallel dimensions, and the new movie had a lot of that too. It didn't have the 9/11 stuff, but like it had still the reptilians because of Bowser and the rest of the Koopa Troopas and everything. And the whole idea of him trying to take over the world. And, you know, it's interesting. When I first saw the original Mario movie from the 90s, I thought, and I still think it's great. The original Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s is one of F. Gardner's favorite movies. And still to this day, I love it. I rewatch it all the time. And but then like years later, I remember hearing people say, "Oh, haha, the Mario movie is terrible, the one in the 90s." And I remember thinking, "Well, what are you talking about?" And I hear people say like, "Oh, it's like it barely has anything to do with the video games. It wasn't faithful." And I've never understood what they were talking about because I love it. I still love it. I loved it back then, and I love it now. And now seeing this new Super Mario Brothers movie, it makes me realize, whoa, wait, the original was faithful, it was accurate, because the new Super Mario Brothers movie, it's like the same general plot, actually. It's about Bowser trying to take over the world, the Mushroom Kingdom, but he's in even New York, and Manhattan, or is it Brooklyn? Yeah, Mario's from Brooklyn, yeah. At the end, and let's see, even the whole thing about, like at the beginning when Mario and Luigi are in the sewers and they go down the pipe, they go through like a wall in the original, or a cave, that they jump through a wall that leads them to the Mushroom Kingdom. Anyway, but it's overall it's like the same general plot. Even that Princess Toadstool, Princess Peach, that she's from the human world, but she ended up in the Mario or the Mushroom Kingdom world filled with all the reptilian Koopa Troopas and everything like that. So, and then that ends with the showdown. There's even the scene in the original Mario movie where they're in Brooklyn and facing off Dennis Hopper, King Koopa, Bowser, and then there's a scene in this where Bowser's in Brooklyn facing off the Super Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi, and so it's like it's very obvious that the guys that made this movie, the new Super Mario Brothers movie, they must have they very clearly watched the original Mario movie from the 90s for like inspiration or like to get an idea. Maybe I don't know, maybe they were already really familiar with the games and like the lore and everything. I don't know, but my guess would be maybe not everybody was familiar, so they thought, okay, let's watch the old one, so to get a general idea. Because this new movie, it's almost like a remake of the old movie. And so yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers movie, I liked it. Yeah, it was good. I was like, I didn't think it was necessarily gonna be bad or anything, but like the original one was so good. I was like, wait, they're doing a new movie? Why would they do that? The original is it's like so perfect. If I want to watch a Mario movie, I could watch the old one on VHS anytime. But yeah, the new movie, I was pleasantly surprised. It's really good, and they also very clearly had people like working on it that really knew their stuff. That it's not like they just watched the old movie. They also like watched, like had little like, so there's this term Easter eggs. It's like you put like a little reference to something, like in a movie or a video game or anything, and a little nod to something. And like at the beginning, they have the music from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. That's a classic from the 90s. They have that. They have the DK rap, the Donkey Kong rap at some point. When Donkey Kong first comes out. And they had Foreman Spike from the Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew's I've always really liked that game. I had it as a kid on the old Nintendo. And yeah, I never hear people talk about the Wrecking Crew or Foreman Spike for that matter. He's been kind of replaced by Wario as like whatever rival Mario character. But so I did not expect that Foreman Spike was going to be in the new Super Mario Brothers movie. That was cool to see. That really took F. Gardner aback. So yeah, there are a number of things that were cool, and they took some liberties. Like Cranky Kong is now like the king of Donkey Kong Island. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, Donkey Kong Island. And I remember thinking, wait a minute, I don't remember that. Like he's just like there. He's like, well, anyway. But that's fine. It's okay. People take liberties with things. But and then what else? Oh yeah, Princess Peach, Princess Toadstool, the princess. She's now like, this is like really out of character, but it's okay to take liberties with things, creative liberties, and make things a bit different. But she is totally different than how she is in the video games. Now she's like this like Xena, or like, what was that show, Xena the Warrior Princess or whatever, or like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this like action girl, like where it almost seemed like when Mario showed up, she's like showing Mario like the like obstacle course with all the traps and how like, oh okay, to beat Bowser you need to prove that you can like get through to the end of this, and I had the piranha plants and everything that Mario had to jump through, but she demonstrates first that she can do it really easily. She does it like effortlessly, and then Mario tries it and he has a hard time. So when I saw that scene, I was thinking, wait a minute, well, why is Mario even here then? If she's like that OP, if she's that overpowered and like skilled and everything, like she's that much of like an athlete and I guess warrior too. She had like a battle axe at some point. Yeah, she points like an axe, or either a sword or an axe at Bowser at some point. So yeah. Princess Peach, I almost said Princess Zelda. Princess Peach was like really out of character. It was basically a totally different character than she is in any of the video games. Like the only exception I could think of is like Mario 2, like the US Mario 2, not the one that was like, yeah, so there's like Doki Doki Panic, which is like, it became Mario 2 in the United States, and then there's like Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, which was Mario 2 in Japan, if memory serves, yeah, something like that. So she's a playable character in Mario 2, the US one, and where yeah, you could play as her. You could play as Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Toadstool, Peach, that game. And yeah, so I guess that, yeah, that's like the only game I can think of where you're playing as her, other than like Mario Party and Mario Kart and stuff, but that's a bit different. And yeah, that was cool. It was cool to see the Mario Kart stuff in it too, and yeah, and Donkey Kong, and there's a really brief Kid Icarus cameo. It's like Pit, who's in like Super Smash Brothers and stuff. That was cool. There were a lot of little Easter eggs, a lot of little like nods here and there. It's kind of weird to think that like, so like it's the year 2023 now, and we have like a Mario movie, and we have 2 Sonic movies. Like, it feels like maybe the 90s are like coming back a little bit, like things that like were really popular when I was a kid. Like, I would play Mario and Sonic all the time, and like now all of a sudden we're getting like new movies of these, or movies for the first time in Sonic's. Oh no, there was a Sonic movie actually before. That was a cartoon. That's a bit different, but and then there's the other cartoon shows for that. Anyway, yeah, so I was trying to, after my last couple of videos, I was getting a lot of comments, and I'm trying to answer as many of them as I can. And then I got to the question about the Mario movie, and I thought, oh, maybe I should just do a video about that, because I do have a lot of thoughts, as you can see, is like everything I've gone over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe I'll keep doing more videos like this, just about your comments, because I got a lot of really interesting comments. I tried to elaborate and answer a lot of them in the comments below and stuff, but if you have a topic or a question that you want to see F. Gardner make a video about, go ahead and yeah, comment down below. And yeah, because I look at these comments and I try to answer, but maybe it's a better idea just do video responses to a lot of them, because some of them, it's like, not that I want to be like loquacious or overly verbose or whatever, but like some of these, you can't just answer with like a few sentences or a paragraph. Like, how long has this video been? Oh, I've been talking over 20 minutes now. So it's easier just to do a video for me a lot of the time, because it's challenging to just summarize your thoughts in just a couple of sentences. In fact, speaking of which, as a writer, you know what I find challenging is when I'm done writing a book, like a full manuscript, I'm done writing a book, and then I need to summarize it. I need to, for the description, for when it's on sale and everything, like to entice people. That might be more challenging than actually writing a full book, because it's like you need to summarize an entire, whatever, 200-page, however long it is, novel in just like a couple sentence description, or even if it's a couple paragraphs, that's like barely anything. You need to be like, it takes a lot of, I was gonna say it takes a lot of practice, but like that's true with any type of writing, and I guess that gets easier writing the descriptions, but it's always a challenge. Like, I find it to be even more challenging than writing a book. It's not that it's easy writing a book, but it is compared to writing a description for a book. I find that to be harder, because like it's like, well, so much happens in this story. How am I going to summarize this just to a couple sentences? Yeah, F. Gardner finds that really hard to do. And in comparison, writing a full book, yeah, I can do that. I've done that 15 times. I've got 15 books. And writing the descriptions, well, I guess I've done that 15 times too. But I find that a lot harder. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video about the new Mario movie. Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. It was good. Pleasantly surprised. Like I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't sure how it was going to be, because the old movie is so good, and it's like, yeah, like remaking the Mario movie. It's like, I don't know, remaking The Godfather or Citizen Kane. It's like, how are you going to do that? Because it's so good. Well, yeah, if you have any further questions that you would like to see me do a video about, or ideas, please comment down below. And yeah, oh, and please click subscribe. I really appreciate it. I've got like, what do I have, like over 700 or something followers or subscribers at this point, which is really cool. Like I didn't know where this YouTube channel was gonna go. Like I have all my readers and stuff because I'm like this like world famous author and everything, but like I'm new to YouTube. Like I'm literally just my videos. I'm putting my phone up and just clicking record. I'm not even like editing my videos. So like it's weird to think that I'm like a YouTuber now. Like I'm using my phone, the video record, and I press record, and then I upload it to YouTube, and that's like it. So that's weird to think that I'm a YouTuber now. Because that's all I'm doing. But that's so cool that I've got I've got this following and all my readers now, my subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, please subscribe. F Gardner really appreciates it, and because like I saw some other really nice comments, people saying, "Oh, F Gardner, you're a self-made man." One guy said like, "Oh, F Gardner, you're proof the American dream is not dead," and all these really nice comments. And yeah, I guess I am a self-made man, but I couldn't have done it without you guys. That's the truth. Without my readers, without my fans. I've written all these books, all these people enjoy it, which I'm really grateful for. So yeah, so I don't want any of that to sound like I'm like just being arrogant and bragging. Like all this, like the success I had is thanks to my fans, like largely. Like so I couldn't have done it without you guys. So yeah, anyway, please subscribe, and I'll catch everybody later. Bye.